Hey everyone, it's one of the guys from Website Host Report here, giving you a little report on finding the best dedicated server. There's 5 easy tips to help you choose, because quite frankly, this can be a tough decision to make. So let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is to know beforehand whether you're getting managed or unmanaged hosting. Now, managed hosting is like having a dedicated team at the server company that's going to monitor your host for problems and kind of fix them before they ever make themselves to you. Unmanaged hosting is a bit like buying a car, right? You sign the papers, they hand you the keys, but it's up to you to drive the car off the lot. If you're getting unmanaged hosting, you're going to have to set some stuff up yourself. You're also going to have to monitor it for problems on your own. And there's no right or wrong between these two. Obviously, if you're not technically savvy, I would recommend managed hosting. Unmanaged hosting tends to be cheaper. In any case, you should know which you want before you go in and start looking at the plans that they offer. Tip number 2 is know how their customer service is ranked. Now, this can be a little hard to get a handle on, but because customer service is so important, I think you should really do a little bit of extra digging, and I can give you a little tip that makes this easy. Just go to Google and type in bad customer service with the hosting name or horrible customer service or customer service problems. And what you're going to get most of the time is a lot of forum posts about, from people who are having trouble. Now, there's always going to be someone that's upset on the internet, right? So you don't want to necessarily take everything these people say at face value. However, if you scroll through these results, if you spot recurring problems, if there's a lot of complaints about customer service not being responsive, or there's a lot of complaints about customer service being offshore to some company and they're not getting their answers, they're not getting their needs met, that's a bit of a red flag. So you want to look through these Google search results and see if you can spot trends, and then compare those trends between the different hosts you're thinking about. Tip number 3 is know what software they're running on their servers, right? And I'm going to be, fairly blunt about it. I do have a clear preference, and that's Linux. I think Linux is the industry standard. I think Linux gives you the most control, the most options. It's the most well supported. So I would usually look for a server to be running Linux, and if it isn't, it's a bit of a red flag for me. However, your mileage may vary. You may like something else, and that's perfectly fine, but at least know what you're getting into. And know that if you do have problems and you're not buying managed servers, you do have the resources and the options available to you to deal with problems as they crop up. Step number 4 is know what their uptime is. Uptime can be a little hard to get a handle on. And obviously, every hosting company likes to advertise really high amounts of uptime, like 99.9% uptime. So how do you know if that's really the case? Well, you can actually do a little research on your own and see if their advertised uptimes match reality. A website that I like to use is It Down Right Now? It's at iidrn.com. And what that does is give you the last time the servers went down. It also gives you a sense of their average server response time, and you can look at some of this data and really get a sense of how often do they slow down, how often does the server go down. Another way that's a little sneaky that you can do if you want to track a specific company is go into Google and look for a free server uptime monitor. And if you find one of these websites, you can put a little uptime monitor on any server you want. And what that'll do is send you a little alert when that server goes down. If you have some time, it might be good to track a server that you're thinking about and really get the sense of, okay, how many times did that server go down last month? And if it's too much for you, which is pretty much anything, that's a red flag for you right there. Now, our last tip is know how the prices compare. How does their price compare to their competitors? Now, one of the best things you can do is just come over to websitehostReport.com, where we have convenient price comparisons. But if for whatever reason we haven't gotten to the host that you're thinking about yet, you can also just Google their top 3 competitors and see what comes up and compare the prices between the 3. People usually think about price first. We've left it last because I think that the biggest single thing you can think about when you get a new host and a new server is, what's your relationship with that company going to be? Are they going to be responsive to you? Are they going to have great support? If they do, it might be worth it to pay a little more for that. So for me, price isn't the bottom line, but you definitely want to know how they stack up with their competition. So guys, thank you so much for watching this report. That was 5 easy tips to help you choose the best dedicated server for you. For more awesome tips and blogs and reviews and basically everything you could ever need to know about hosting, come on over to websitehostreport.com. That's www.websitehostreport.com. We've got tons of awesome information for you, and we'll see you next time.